It is hard to imagine a life without the internet. Shopping, playing, banking, all through the keyboard. But what few of us are aware of when we're on the web is we're being watched. There's money in knowing where we go and what we look at.
We all imagine that when we're online, we're sort of anonymous, but we're not, far from it. Because every time you connect to the internet, your computer is given a unique number. It's like a street name and house number. It's unique to you at that moment. It's called the IP address, and everything that you do online can be traced back to it.
The people we turn to most on the internet are Google. 90% of all internet searches in Britain are Googled. This is the UK headquarters of Google. The company makes billions of pounds a year from the data it gathers about the way we use the internet. I use it all the time, but what does Google know about me?
Let's take the simplest example. You're just doing a search. You go up to Google, you type in a word.
Every search you make and the IP address is kept by Google for 9 months.
There's nothing there that identifies you to us.
Well, the IP address would be quite specific, wouldn't it?
The IP address is the device that you're using to connect to Google.
Well, that was my computer, though, so you...
It's your computer, but we have no way of knowing that you're the human being behind the computer.
Google can find out more. If, like me, you use Google's email service, the software scans every word you write. They do it to target advertising at you. We choose to give Google more information in return for a service. They get the money from the advertisers.
So the more I put in, the more you get to know about me?
Absolutely. And so if you want the benefits of personalization, the longer you use the system, the better the system will get at guessing what you're looking for.
So, if you search for Chelsea, Google's software guesses whether you mean the part of London or the football club.
So once it knows I like London and then I say I like Chinese restaurants, will it then establish that?
Yes, it can take that into account.
But if I was advertising Chinese restaurants on Tuesday nights, you could say, we've got just the fella and 10,000 like him. Does it work like that?
It does work that way.
That's a little bit frightening, isn't it? Because that is then you are genuinely profiling the people who use your system really quite to narrow levels.
Well, we're trying to show advertisements that are relevant to the people who see them.
So, hang on, that's a bit more than just helping me search. It's looking at me. Does the company ever pass this information on to anybody else?
We never transfer information that is personal data about you to anybody, not to advertisers and not anybody else. If we're ordered to by a government, then we would have to do that, and that's the only exception.
Sometimes the police request information from Google. The company wouldn't tell us how often that happens, but we contacted each of the UK's 49 police forces, and only one was prepared to tell us. Cleveland Police said they'd made 20 requests in the last 2 years, and that Google complied with all but 3. I asked Google for any information they had about me, but I was told it could only be given to those authorised by law.